first time today, I am so excited about our next speaker. Our next speaker is a person who I've been following on social media for the last at least 2 years. I have we have mutual friends who have done so many great works with her, so many great programs, and so I'm so grateful that today is the day I finally get to meet Miss Lucinda Cross. Lucinda Cross is the president of Lucinda Cross is the president of Activate Worldwide, and Activate Your Vision, the premier place for leadership, business, and empowerment. Lucinda is a best-selling author, internationally known speaker, TV personality, and energetic teacher of personal and professional development. Activate Worldwide is a leadership service firm that specializes in marketing and consulting those who are considered the best kept secret to building a marketable, brandable, and scalable business model. Please welcome Miss Lucinda Cross. Look who it is! Lucinda, you're on mute. You look good though, but you look good.
All right, we're unmuted.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad. I mean, it's a lot going on in the chat, so I can tell that you ladies have been just going off.
So excited to see you. Welcome to Leap Conference 2020. We can't wait to hear from you.
Woo! Let's go. So I am excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me as the keynote. And if you are from 1 to 10, I want you to put in the chat from 1 to 10. 1, you didn't know what to expect. 10, you are completely blown away and ready to activate, ready to leap. Put 10 in the chat if you know you're ready to leap. So I want to share some principles with you in terms of my journey of leaping and some things that I want you to take away for the rest of 2020, right? Let's say it's not over. Could somebody say it's not over? It's not over. It's just getting started. And we're not talking about the pandemic. We're talking about what you are about to do next. We're talking about your leap journey. So before we do that, I did something at another virtual conference, and I wanted to do it here. And I think it'll just be so befitting based on what I've been hearing throughout the day and just some of the comments that are in the chat. So we are going to give a moment of silence, right? And give a whole eulogy for I can't, I won't, I am doubting, I am fearful. So if you're saying I can't leap right now, I won't leap right now. I don't know if it's time for me to leap right now. I don't know if I have enough money to leap right now. I don't know if I have enough support to leap right now. I don't know if my mental capacity can handle a new leap right now. So if you know that you may be holding some inner feelings and inner thoughts that are not serving your next journey of leap, come and join me in this eulogy. Is that okay? Yes? Let me see yes in the chat room. Okay, so we're going to start here. Okay, I'm going to read. You can all just, take your moment of silence, close your eyes, do what you want. It'll take a minute. Is that okay? Let me see you in the chat room. Say it's okay. All right, good. So friends, Leap Sisters, we gather here today to honor the memory of I can't, I won't, and I'm fearful. While she or he, we don't know which one it comes in the form of, right, was with us here on earth, she touched the lives of everyone, some more than others. Her name or his name, unfortunately, has been spoken in every public building, in schools, city halls, conferences, state capitals, in our churches, and yes, even in our White House. So today we have provided I can't, I won't, I'm not sure, and I'm fearful with a final resting place. She and he is survived by her brothers and her sisters. I can and I will. Did you catch that? She is survived by her brothers and sisters of I can, I will, and I'm going to do it right now. They are not all well known as their famous relative, I can't, I fear, I won't, and they're not as strong and powerful just yet because a lot of people have used more of the I can, I will, I won't. But perhaps someday, hopefully today, with your help, we can make an even bigger mark on the world by taking a leap. May I can't, I won't, and I am fearful. Rest in peace. And may everyone present and pick up their lives and move forward in their purpose in her absence. Amen. Let's all say amen. Amen. Okay, so that is a eulogy for fear, because enough is enough. It's a eulogy for I can't. It's a eulogy for I'm not sure. It's a eulogy that I don't have enough. It's a eulogy for let me copycat because I'm not sure if I can trust what God has gifted me with, right? It's a eulogy to say, I am in poverty and living in a scarcity mindset versus thinking of abundance to say, well, if God can give her a $1 million idea, he can sure give me $1 million idea. But what do we have to do? Leap. Let me hear you say it. What do we have to do? Okay, there we go. So principle number 1 is take responsibility. So for me, one of the things that I had to learn in my journey, not only in entrepreneurship, because I believe business and life come together. They are married, they are partners, right? They are joint ventures, they're BFFs. So I had to take responsibility of my personal life and my professional life. Things weren't working the way I desired in my professional life because I did not address some things that were in my personal life. I had no clue that my finances was tied up with the lack of forgiveness that I had for my biological father. So, and I didn't realize that although I was moving in purpose and I said yes to God, I was saying no to even repairing some old relationships that I had with some good friends, because I wanted to believe that, I just have a couple of good friends. I can't mess with women like that, but not realizing that the ministry and business that God has gifted me was all about women. And so I needed to learn how to take responsibility, not only taking responsibility for my actions, my thoughts, my hidden thoughts. Some of us know some people like that. And some of us are that person where we like, yeah, great, good to see you. But we really like, girl. Right. And so it's conflicting messages that we're sending when we want to say, I want more, but I'm thinking less. I'm above, but I'm operating from a low space. So we need to take responsibility on some of the past actions that we have, forgive ourselves, and give ourselves permission to succeed by closing some doors to open up others. Yes. And so that meant that I had to embrace some ugly things about my past. One, I love to spend money and make money on the same thing. It's hard to make millions and reach 6-7 figure marks if you like to save and spend your own money. That part. So yes, I was willing to take the leap, but I wasn't really willing to take responsibility for the fact that I lacked discipline when it came to finances. And I had so much pride that I didn't even want to ask an accountant or financial advisor to help me, because I didn't want anybody to dig in my closet, my secret closet, and see all the skeletons I had, that I didn't believe that I deserved money, that I felt like, hey, you can't die with it, spend it now. That, why invest? I'm investing in myself. I can invest later. I will make more money. Also thoughts of, well, money doesn't grow on trees and I'm not a money magnet. And so I'm not doing this for the money. So I was making up all these excuses on why I shouldn't be worthy for my pay, right? When God clearly said that a laborer is worthy of their hire, right? And their pay. And so I wanted to, believe that because I was gifted with this purpose from God, that I shouldn't necessarily charge the people. And I was okay with suffering. And I was okay with helping other people build 6-7 figure business models off of my marketing techniques, but I wasn't doing it for myself. So I had to take responsibility for a lot. I want you to write down what you need to take responsibility for so that when you leap, the leap is serious. The second principle is the power of belief, right? And so on one note, I believed that I would be successful in business and in life. But on another note, I wasn't quite sure if I was called or chosen by God because there was so many hiccups. So I was like, I know, I believe in you, God, but You know, I'm ready to operate in this thing and build this business and create this so-called legacy because it sounds nice when I'm talking about it, but my clients are not paying me on time. My lights is getting turned off. Are you sure you called me? Are you sure that this is my purpose? You know, because things are not looking the way it's supposed to look. I thought that if I build it, they would come. I built it and no one's here. And then the people who are showing up are giving me such a hard time that it's making me dislike the passion and the purpose that was given to me. So I needed to understand the power of belief meant that having belief in the things that I did not see, right? Having, what is that? That's faith. Believing in the things that you do not see, right? And knowing and understanding that there's going to be a powerful outcome. And so here's what the word says, and I'm nowhere near a preacher. I just teach this thing. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things what? Not seen. So therefore, what you have to do? Leap. I'll repeat it again. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So in other words, you don't have to see it to believe it in order to leap for it. Woo, hot dog, that was hot. That was hot, right? So therefore, you don't have to see it to believe it in order to what? Leap for it. All right, put 10 in there if you know you're ready to leap. Put 10 in there if you know you're ready to leap. That's only principle number 2. All right, and team, I need y'all to let me know how much time I have because we'll go in. Principle number 3 that I want to talk about in terms of my journey of leaping, because, you know, that was also conflicting messages, right? You know, I'm saying, you know, I'm showing up for church, but do I really believe in God when things were shutting down on me and when clients weren't knocking my door down and when I built it and they didn't come? Was I humble enough to sit there to say, I still believe, you know, and even asking God, help me in my unbelief, because I'm having a hard time realizing that now at that time, I'm a single mother, left my job, my corporate job, to become an entrepreneur and took the necessary steps to do it. I didn't just, you know, there's leaps, there's jumps, and then there's just like, what the hell you doing? So I didn't do the what the hell you doing, leaving my job without an exit strategy. I took a leap, which meant that I had to create a strategic plan on what was this going to look like and how was I going to move forward, whether it was through my vision boards, through my journals, and even connecting with my mentor. But did I truly believe when I was at rock bottom, when the check stopped coming in every 2 weeks, when my big offering that I would drop in the plate now looked like, gosh, do I drop the offering in the plate or do I use this for dinner? Okay, somebody tell the truth. Principle number 3. And it's 5 of them I'm going to give to you today. Principle number 3 is manage your emotions. Manage your emotions. Oh my gosh, Lucinda, what does managing my emotions have to do with leaping? Because when it's the time for you to leap, when it's the time for you to step into who you need to be, whether it's for your faith, I have Fab 5, faith, family, friends, finances, and fitness, and sometimes fun. When it's time for you to leap into what you are supposed to do, whether it's writing your book, creating your products, starting your second business, opening up your nonprofit, getting into a relationship, ending a relationship. When it's time for you to leap, what's important is that you learn to manage your emotions so you're not doing this. You know, when the rope is turning and you got to jump in there, right? You can't be turning the rope and trying to jump in at the same. It's just confusing. Oh, should I do it? Is the rope going to hurt me? Sometimes we just, for those double dutches out there, put number 2 in there if you was a double dutch girl. So for those double dutch out there, you know, when it was time for you to jump into that rope, it wasn't a jump, baby. You had to leap into that thing and you had to get with the rhythm. Hello, y'all get it? You had to get with the rhythm so that regardless of, and that sometimes that rope, boy, that thing will whip the back of your calf. It whipped the side of your arm, but you just so into your movement and the rhythm that you're not even paying attention. So manage your emotions so that you're not being an emotional roller coaster, an emotional disaster when things don't go the way that you think they should go. We have to hold ourselves accountable at every level. And that means taking some time back to manage your emotions, to say, this is just my energy coming out. How do I want to be perceived? How do I want to feel about this thing? And we can change the narrative at any moment. Manage your emotions in the moment of the leap, because if not, you can become an emotional basket case and you will seem crazy. What does that look like? You calling 20 people who never wrote a book to ask them their input about your book. Well, what you think I should call it? Well, what color do you think I should do it? And then you get upset when you got the naysayers and the dream killers and the belief stealers and the idea copycatters running away with your stuff because you haven't managed your emotions enough to get centered to say, who do I need to talk to? Where's my leap accountability sister? Who speaks my language here, right? And so you're not running your mouth and your ideas and the vision, right? I have this saying, I say we sometimes tell the rats where our cheese is, and then we get upset when there's nothing for us. Stop telling rats where your cheese is. And that's not any disrespect to anybody that you may have shared your cheese with in the past. But if you're wondering why there's nothing on your plate, it's because you haven't managed your emotions and you're like, oh, well, let me do this for them first. And let me make sure this is, and let me second guess myself again. And let me hire another coach to tell me what this coach just told me. But because I lack discipline, and because I lack the power of belief, and because I'm not taking responsibility, I'm blaming the coach, I'm blaming the group, I'm blaming the program, instead of not blaming myself for execution. Okay? All right. And so the fourth one is preparing for success. So in my journey, I had to prepare for success and doing a move as if it's already done. Not a fake it till you make it, but a move as if it's already done, Lucinda. What does it look like? And making sure that I put out measurable visions, measurable goals. So what does success look like for you? Oh, success looks like for me, like just having a lot of money, not worrying about anything. No, let's make it measurable. Success may look like for me, for you, it may look something different for me. For me, it looks like traveling every quarter of the year. That's when the world was opening up. Success for me looks like having a surplus in my account and saying, you know what? I want to tithe $100,000 this year, which means what? How much do I have to make? If it's 10%, right? And so success for you may look different, how success looks for me, but it all has to be measurable. So prepare for the success. Get your proposals in order. Get your websites in order. Get your social media in order. Make sure your message is clear. Making sure that we fine tune what we do. Making sure that we always add a little special secret sauce in the kit, right? I've seen so far 2 people show different kits that they had. Where's your kit? And some of us count ourselves out. We say, oh, there's too many people doing this, doing that. But where's yours? So she has a candle making kit. Where's your journal making kit for the young girls? They're sitting home all summer, right? Where's your, okay, she got a makeup line, but where's your makeup line for the young girls? So that they don't have to feel like they piling it on thick in that 90-degree weather, looking like, you know, pasting the ghost, Casper the ghost, right? And so it's always a way for us to come out different. There's nothing new under the sun, but preparing for success means that we are assessing what is the lay of the land and seeing how we can take over and dominate with what we have. And that means partnerships. Who do you need to partner with? Who do you need to call? You know, my book is called The Big Ask. Who do you need to ask? Who needs to be a part of your team? Permanently, temporary? Who needs to show up? Prepare for what you are desiring and asking God for. Prepare for what you know that you truly deserve when it comes to a project. Preparing for success is not where you know, a lot of people say, I used to say it, I'm going to get ready. You know, I'm always ready. I don't need to get ready. I'm always ready. Well, guess what? There was a 6-figure deal when I first started my business. This was in 2006. It was a 6-figure deal in 2007. My mentor brought me to a millionaire mastermind retreat. I was there as his virtual assistant. Everybody was able to bring their mentee, one mentee or a virtual assistant or whoever. So my mentor brought me there. Amazing experience. The language and the information that was shared, mind-blowing, still able to apply to this day. The things that I've heard in that room were phenomenal. And they spent $25,000 just to be there for 3 days, if that, on the minimum. And so the lady wanted to partner with me because I do marketing, right? That's my thing. I activate, I'm marketing, you know, I'm all about helping you be seen and heard. And she wanted to partner with me. And long story short, my attitude, I don't gotta be ready. You know, I'm always ready. You know, I ain't gotta get ready. But the truth was I wasn't preparing for success. I was prepared. It's two things. When you prepare for the opportunity versus preparing for success. So was I prepared for the opportunity? Absolutely. My business was running. I'm still a new entrepreneur. I'm connected to a mentor who's amazing. I'm in the meetings and in the room as having a seat at the table. But was I prepared for success? Absolutely not. My mindset wasn't on that. My inner self wasn't ready for what was to come. And so when it was time for her and myself to create a joint venture that was going to bring me 6 figures in the first 2 years of my business. Do you know how hard it is to get to 6 figures and you just started your business in less than 24 months? I don't listen to these people talk about 6 figures in 6 days, 6 figures in 6 weeks, 6 figures. What you doing? What you selling? Okay, so back to the story. I wasn't prepared for success. I self-sabotaged the opportunity. I delayed and procrastinated because I was battling with procrastination and perfectionism. And I was going to a non-believer, non-doer, non-dreamer, asking them what I should charge. And then I would go back to my mentor and say, what should I charge? And he would say one thing. My non-believer would say, and when I say non-believer, somebody who's not even doing what God has called them to do. I'm asking her, I'm asking him, I'm flip-flopping. Before you know it, I missed the opportunity. And what was created with my name on it was given to somebody else. That's the last time I ever procrastinated at that time. From that moment on, I became the activator. So you have to learn to prepare for success, meaning your mindset is ready. Not that you're just hungry, you're willing to put in the work, the sweat equity, the late nights. You're not willing to be a perfectionist about it. And you're not willing to ask 11 people about what you need to do when God already told you yes. This is the last principle. I don't know which one I want to share because it's about 12 of them. This last one is change or be changed. Change or be changed. Meaning when we look at the imposter syndrome that's happening on social media, we feel as if we should also reach that level that we're seeing with other people, right? The other part of change or be changed is either you can be passionately poor or passionately profitable. Passionately poor or passionately profitable. And this is not just only finance side. So people will tell you what they think that you should do if you're not woke enough for yourself. People will tell you what your value is if you don't understand your own value, right? And so there was a time where I dumbed myself down in business from a $5,000 contract to literally $500. And I was doing triple, double, quadruple the work. And so therefore, either change or be changed. So now you change your mindset, you change your attitude, you change your discipline, you change your belief, you change how you show up, or I guarantee you, somebody will help you shift to the side that you don't want to be on. You ever work with a client that's like a horror client? You ever said yes to an opportunity that you know you should have said no to? So it's that type of thing. And so when I say change or be changed, I'm really talking about how are you showing up? And I want to share one more thing with you. And let me check what's going on in the chat. Team, let me know what's happening here. Okay. This is the last thing. There's external changes and internal changes. And here's a quote. A man is not old, and I'm going to say a woman because we're talking to the ladies. A woman is not old until regret takes the place of dreams. A woman is not old until regret takes the place of dreams. Until regret takes the place of dreams, meaning that you did not take the leap. Regret seeps in and your dreams die out. Do not let this happen to you. I would not be here. I would not be talking to you to this day if I did not take the leap with the little bit that I had. All you need to do is just have a little bit of faith in this next leap that you're about to take. And some of you, it's going to feel like leaping backwards. But baby, that leap backwards is going to skyrocket you to a place that you could never even imagine, because it's going to take you to a place to remind you just how strong, powerful, great, and all the amazing things you were able to overcome. People, places, and things. So my name is Lucinda Cross. Please follow me, connect with me. Make sure you grab your copy of The Big Ask, right? This is important because I need you to know how to show up and how to make sure that you articulate what you need in order to make sure that this leap is successful. So I love you all. God bless, and have an amazing Saturday.
Wow, Lucinda Cross, y'all give it up. Show love in the comments. I know that they're getting ready to flood us with questions, flood you with questions. So I want to get mine in. I want to talk about what we see along that path, along our journey. I used to run track in high school, and they used to try to get us to do the hurdles because they wanted to get points for the team. However, I'm 5'4", okay? And I would see the other people jumping over these hurdles, and they were taller. They had longer legs. They were in better shape. But more importantly, they wanted to jump over that hurdle.
Right.
They wanted to jump over that hurdle. But mentally, I couldn't get past how well they were doing it. I couldn't get past that comparison in order to take that leap myself. So what is your advice to those of us who are distracted by what's happening around us, by social media? You know, those people who are taking leaps on social media. And sometimes it can be discouraging. It looks like, God, they're doing what you told me to do, so maybe you don't need me to do it.
Absolutely. You know, it's crazy because at some point we have to stop looking out and start looking in. And that's the difference between a window shopper, you know, and just, you know, we have to be involved in our own lives, be a part of this whole script. And you can get caught up in what's going on every place else. But when you start to look within and you say, you know what, let me do what I need to do. Mine is different. I don't care if everybody else is doing it. Right. There's so many, you know, you hear it all the time, over 7 billion people on this earth, you know, and God has given you a specific portion to support. There's no way you're going to miss out. How can you're not going to miss your portion. You're not going to miss the people that you need to help. There's a check with your name on it. There's opportunities with your name on it. And no matter what anybody else says, you know, you're going to be directed on that path when you pay attention. It's no reason why I should have been featured in Essence magazine with a full layout when everybody and their mama at that time was doing vision boards. What was different about me at the time, showing up at the right place at the right time, but I wasn't sure if I should be there. And I had to check myself and say, God, why am I here? Because it just seemed like a lot was going on. I was there to meet the person that would help expose what God wanted me to expose to the people that I needed to talk to. So yeah, they could have got Ayanna Van Zyl, Lisa Nichols, Steve Harvey, but they got this girl, this young Black girl from New York, from the Bronx, who used to live in the projects, who went through prison, to tell her story on a national platform, and it opened the floodgates. So you will never miss out. And I believe that. I say, God, when I show up, my answer is in the room. And we have to feel like that. I don't care about social media. I have celebrity friends who can't put 20 hot butt seats in a conference. But God put it on your heart to throw an event, and I'm selling out 400, 500 seats. So that goes to show you, and it's not about what we think we see. God he already got it mapped out.
He always has it mapped out. I love what you said about, you know, who are you holding up in your leap by not taking your leap and your disobedience?
Yep.
Who are you holding up? And so it took me back to a time where God was speaking to me about a leap. He told me to leave the national talk show that I helped create and develop. Wow. And I said, hold up, bro. All right. That's true. I see what you're doing with the testimony. However, this was highly publicized, and I'm not sure this is a good time. And he said, if you don't move when I tell you to move, it's catastrophic. Okay, so I went ahead and got on up out of there because I needed to get in position. Yeah. But that speaks to me moving and opening, creating opportunities for other people, and also the opportunities that I moved, the opportunities that I created for others as a result of that movement. So what is your advice to those who are feeling that, I don't want to say internal clock, but that small, still small voice, they're feeling it in their soul, feeling it in their spirit, but they're scared. They're scared.
Listen, we did a whole eulogy, and Les Brown said the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And I also say the richest place in the world is prison. You are free, ladies. You are free to take action. And here's the deal. There's no such thing as failure, because we've never done this before. So if your fear is, am I going to fail or am I going to succeed? Well, you've never really failed, and success has so many levels that it's just impossible to reach all of them in this lifetime. But if you feel that you're going to fail, you've never done this before. I've been on this earth. This is my first time. Anybody? Second time, third? Okay, we got three times. Or if not, then there's no such thing as failure. You're just learning along the way of what works and what doesn't work. And the longer you hold it inside, somebody else is dying because you're still trying to contemplate the right time, get the right money, and build the right team. Sometimes you just got to do it with what you have. And a lot of times that blessing comes in an inconvenient time and an unconventional moment in your life, without and in a complete imperfect and imbalanced mindset, like now, what's going on.
Absolutely. If you ladies in the comments have questions, we have just a few more minutes with Miss Lucinda Cross. I definitely am on my third page of notes now. Take responsibility, being at the top of this list, the power of belief. And that's so real. To taking responsibility for me, Lucinda, looked like investing in therapy. It looked like allowing my therapist to probe and ask me those questions about the traumas that were hindering the economic impact. Okay. It's in the trauma. It's in the trauma. It's in the healing that you've yet to do. So can you tell us about a time where you had to overcome some emotional distress? You had to overcome being that emotional basket case. I know I have.
Right.
What was it like for you?
For me, it was, and I hired a therapist too. First I asked her, do you take my insurance? She said no. And I said, man, that means I'm gonna have to come out of pocket. But that's where my seed was supposed to go, right? Mm-hmm. So what's more important, my sanity or that seed, right? And so for me, that story that I shared where I watched the opportunity pass me by, that was one of those moments where I really needed to get myself together, because there was so much envy, and I'm being real, envy and jealousy inside, because I literally created a process and worked a pilot program with this multimillionaire. But because of my procrastination and perfectionist mindset, I didn't show up in time. When she said the deadline for the proposal for us to make this grand joint venture to now all of her network, which would have landed me like crazy, I didn't show up. And it hurt me when I had to watch a process that I created be handed down to someone who had less talent, less skill, and all they had was a yes. When I had all of the talent, all of the skill, created the process, but mine was wavering in a no. And so I had to, and she said, I want you to show up at my conference. I'm going to announce a joint venture, but you've already worked with many of these clients. You could still kind of get some of the people in the room. And in my head, I said, Dag, here I am. I was creating the loaf, and now I'm showing up to grab some crumbs. So I was very angry, envious, jealous. And at that time, we didn't have all the social. It was just like Twitter, you could do like 10 words. Facebook was like, how's your day? So I was literally stalking. And I'm being real, y'all. It's just like when you find out
about it. You're speaking my testimony.
If you know what it's like, some of y'all, if y'all been there before and you like, your man did something, maybe he cheated or whatever, and you like, well, I got to see what she looked like. So I only showed up to the conference because I wanted to see.
She only got 13 followers.
I said, who is this woman who said yes and is now about to sit in the seat that God prepared? Like, I showed up at the time. So here's the thing, people get caught up. What God has for you is for you. Listen, if you sitting there wasting God's time, you don't think he's going to pass it off to somebody who just has a humble yes? And that's all they need. And he's going to equip them with what they need. So to sit there, I was so angry and frustrated because now I'm a single mom. Now I'm scraping the barrel. And I know what happens after this. I'm about to hit a drought because I'm going to be so consumed in watching my competition. Let's keep it real. And I'm seeing, is she going to operate what I created the way it needs to be? If not, let me just watch and sit and see them fail together. She going to wish she didn't hire her and she hired me, but it didn't work like that. That woman succeeded. Her business thrived. I had to get over myself. My car got towed. Had to take my kids out of private school. Lights was turned off. I learned a hard lesson on what wisdom doesn't teach you, rock bottom will. And so at that moment, I needed to learn to manage my emotions so that I'm not looking like an emotional basket case outside, but inside I was dying because it was the jealousy and the envy and really the regret of watching one of my dreams walk past me and thrive.
I'm telling you, man, I want my cheese. A lot of people have walked away with my cheese. And what I had to accept, Lucinda, it hurts so much, but I had to accept that everything that's attached to me will win. It will win whether I'm operating it or not. So those pieces of cheese that they ran off with and made an old fondue pot, you know, I'm feeling some type of way about it, but I had to accept that, God, you're so powerful. And what you gave me is so powerful that it will succeed without me because it came through me from you.
And he is not lacking anything. You know how many more ideas there are if we pay attention and learn to manage our emotions and just quiet sometime and quiet and stop looking at what looks like winning for other people, because their ceiling can be your floor, that part. So you thinking they all at the top, but if you really start paying attention, what you thinking is their top may be, and it's nothing wrong. We're not measuring, you know, who's doing what and what's going on, but we got to start showing up for ourselves and know that there's an unlimited supply. Money is being printed right now, every second. Every second.
Where?
and we just got to say, okay, where's my payday? What do I need to do? How do we structure this? There's a check with my name on it. I need it. I need this check, right? I need this opportunity. So
last question, Lucinda, from Ivana Bright. How do you beat procrastination?
You just got to get frustrated enough with it. If not, you'll continue to procrastinate. You just got to get
tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, it's just so you just want to just keep, you know, keeping baby in the corner. No, you got to, at some point, you got to take action. And the longer you wait, the longer you see yourself drying up. Guaranteed. You want to dry up real quick and live a life of regret. Keep procrastinating. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Lucinda Cross, you are such a gift to this world. You are a blessing to this conference. You definitely blessed my day. I thank God for everything that you have overcome and every sacrifice that you've made, every tear you've cried that we may never hear about, for the power that you brought today. So thank you for your anointing and thank you for your obedience.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.